Seriously? What's up? I'm Troy.
I'm Carmen.
I'm Elena.
And you're watching
Southern Accents.
Do you want to taste the Pokeball? The other day, she called me from work and she was telling me about this Pokeball that she had got from someplace in Raleigh. And
you even know when I said P-O-K-E?
yeah, I mean, because it seemed like I've heard somebody say something about one before, but she sent me pictures of it, and she called me just to brag about how fucking awesome it was. And then she even brought like the last 3 bites of it all the way back to Bailey with her, just to like bring it in and sit it on the island. But so like, you know, everybody's been sweating a Pokeball, and then I got off work today and went in Harris Teeter to get something to eat, and lo and behold, Pokeballs. And I know it's got to be something new because I've never seen it there before. Yeah, I know it is. It's really definitely just even like the sticky rice is like the base and comes with like tuna or salmon or both, and like avocado and what was the other stuff? What'd you say the little brown stuff was?
Onions, fried onions.
Yeah, and fried onions and some kind of sauce. But do people usually eat it with like wasabi and the yeah.
I got juicer on mine. I know I can make wasabi at home.
I didn't have that option. Because I got mine from the Harris Teeter, yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah. So I wanted to go ahead and just get this out of the way in the beginning. Like, we're totally new at this, and I'm kind of learning the editing as we're going. So I know the sound isn't gonna be all that great in some parts, just like I know the lights, and you know, I'm sure there's gonna be all kinds of janky shit going on. But trust me, we're working on it every day, and it's gonna keep getting better and better and better. So just bear with us. So in this episode, we're gonna be talking about Drake's brand new album, Honestly Nevermind. The album dropped June 17th, 2022 at midnight, and it was actually a surprise album. Drake's last album, Certified Lover Boy, came out about 6 months ago, and Drake fans just found out the day of that this album was coming out. So it dropped at midnight, and it was quite a shock for everybody, I'm sure. When me and Carmen took a listen to it, it was, I mean, for me, honestly, it was hard to listen to. I mean, it was even harder to not want to like skip through it and stuff, because the song, especially the first 4 or 5 songs, were just really long. They were about like 4 or 5 minutes long. They're really repetitive, and I mean, we're not into dance music. I mean, and plus you're sitting down like listening to a brand new Drake album, and for me, I'm not really a Drake fan, so all I've heard is just like random stuff. So this is definitely not what I was expecting. So it was hard for me to listen to, and then finally we got to like the 6th or 7th track on the album, Sticky, and it was like I was finally able to breathe. So that track was actually pretty cool. It was one of the only 2 rap tracks on the album, and the other track that really stood out was the last track on the album, Jimmy Cooks. This track actually had a feature with 21 Savage, and it was, to me, it was definitely the best track on the album. It was really cool the way they put it together, because it was like 2 different songs that were like fused together. Like Drake's verse had a completely different feel than 21 Savage's verse. It was really cool the way they managed to put the two together. So it was definitely my favorite track on the album, and I'm sure it's probably it's got to be one of the highest streamed songs off the album. So just as a cool side note, also Drake sold his entire catalog, his complete masters, to Universal Music Group for $400 million. Not 40 million, not 4 million, $400 million for his complete catalog. Cool things to point out about this album, because there's not many. Certified Lover Boy sold, I think, around 600,000 copies. The album before that sold around 700,000 or 800,000 first week. Honestly Nevermind was projected to sell around 250,000 first week, and I think it ended up selling 230,000 first week, and 94% of that were from streams. So there was only 6% that were from like physical or bundles or whatever. So this album did debut at #1, and it also broke the record for most first day streams for a dance music album. So overall, in my opinion, and I think we're just gonna do like a 5-star rating system. So it's a good solid way to, I think, to review each album. But for this, I'm gonna give it 2 out of 5 stars, and that's like a stretch for me, really. I'm kind of giving each Sticky and Jimmy Cooks each a star, because they were really good songs, and if it wasn't for those 2 songs, it would just be trash. I mean, it kind of reminds me of an album of B-sides, or like even worse than an album of B-sides. It's like a whole album of songs that were rejected from other albums, and it's almost what I think this would be if it weren't for the fact that they were just all dance tracks. I mean, but you know, and I'm sure there's some Drake fans that are completely loving this shit, and don't get me wrong, this could be one of those albums that grows on you. I don't think it is, but anything's possible. But I mean, it's definitely not for me.